In today's news, the escalation in Gaza has taken a troubling turn as Russia's feared paramilitary group Wagner has been identified in the theater of operations. Hezbollah may now be equipped with the Pantsir S-1, also known as SA-22 Greyhound by NATO, designed to provide air defense for military installations and capable of engaging a range of aerial threats, including aircraft, helicopters, drones, and precision-guided munitions. The possession of this asset by the Lebanese group could potentially challenge Israeli air superiority in the Palestinian conflict. While Russia has denied involvement, the latest reports indicate that the system may have been deployed in the vicinity of Lebanon and could make its way into Gaza. How do you believe the US would react to this development? Is Russia now taking an open stance in support of Palestine and Iran? How would an air defense-equipped Hezbollah fare in the conflict? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments and take a moment to like and share the video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with the latest updates on the Palestine-Israeli conflict. The deadly Russian military organization Wagner has been sighted in Gaza for the first time since the escalation of the once frozen conflict into a full-scale invasion by Israeli forces. This followed what has been described as a surprising but condemnable counter-offensive by Palestinian fighters in Israel. Wagner has maintained a low profile ever since their leader, Yevgeny Prigozhin, perished in a plane crash under unknown circumstances. Some had suggested that certain Wagner fighters had returned to Ukraine after their failed mutiny against the Russian state. But the majority of the fighting force within the Russian group, known for their experience and toughness in urban warfare, has remained in reserve. The crisis in Gaza, involving Palestinian fighters and Hezbollah on one side and Israel and the West on the other, appears to have provided them with a new stage to showcase their capabilities. This could manifest in the form of weapon supplies, training and logistics for Palestinian and Hezbollah soldiers. Wagner might also have the objective of deploying its nearly 50,000-strong fighting force to Gaza and Lebanon. While many news outlets and Western pundits have expressed alarm over the presence of the feared Russian group in Palestine and Lebanon, it's crucial to remember the original role of Wagner in advancing Russian interests worldwide. To clarify, Wagner was conceived as a brainchild of Russian President Vladimir Putin. There is evidence suggesting that Wagner has been used as a proxy by the Russian government, enabling plausible deniability for military operations abroad and concealing the true casualties of Russia's foreign interventions. The primary purpose behind the formation of this mercenary group is to unofficially support allies in Africa, the Middle East, and Europe. It is funded by the Russian state and was utilized by Putin in his conflicts in Ukraine in 2014 and 2015. The Wagner Group has fought alongside Hezbollah in Syria and Libya, and the strength of their operations ensured the continued presidency of Assad in Syria following a decade-long uprising in the nation. Wagner's aim has always been to oppose Western forces in exchange for security guarantees for the oppressed. It has achieved success in Africa and various regions, particularly in Syria. Therefore, its entry into the Israeli conflict may convey a message to Israel and the West that Russia is unwilling to jeopardize the peace and security of its regional allies for an ambitious and hypocritical Western hegemony led by the United States. Wagner's presence may also signify that Russia believes the crisis in Palestine is on the verge of escalating into a regional conflict in the Middle East. In any of these scenarios, what Russia does not want is to be caught off guard, especially as Israel and the USA have rejected attempts to enforce a ceasefire in Gaza for the sake of diplomacy and the safety of innocent Palestinian civilians. Russia may be concerned that the West is escalating the crisis in an attempt to provoke Iran and find a pretext for direct conflict between Iran and Israel, potentially leading to the destruction of the Iranian regime or its alleged nuclear program. If any of these scenarios play out, Wagner will indeed play a pivotal role in the Middle East in the coming months. There is evidence suggesting that the stiff resistance exhibited by Palestinian fighters against Israeli forces may be influenced by Wagner's involvement in the conflict. Some unconfirmed reports even suggest that Wagner instructors may have inspired the determined battle and resistance displayed by Palestinian fighters. The deployment of drones against Israeli troops, as seen in unverified videos, is reminiscent of tactics used in the Ukrainian conflict. This indicates that Wagner instructors may be encouraging Palestinian fighters to adopt more modern means of countering Israeli battle tanks, resulting in the disabling of many tanks and slowing down the invasion. Reliable reports have emerged, suggesting that Wagner has discreetly begun recruiting individuals from Palestine and Lebanon in preparation for the impending crisis in the region. In fact, a few months ago, the Washington-based think tank Institute for the Study of War noted that the Russian mercenary group was advertising jobs in the Middle East, possibly indicating their forthcoming involvement in the region. This implies that should an escalation lead to a war with Hezbollah, Israel may face stiff resistance. The well-trained and heavily armed militant group in Lebanon could pose a significant challenge to Israeli forces, particularly in urban warfare, an area where Hezbollah has demonstrated mastery. Israeli forces have been assessed as not particularly proficient in face-to-face guerrilla warfare. Furthermore, Wagner's involvement might also be in response to the presence of Western soldiers in the region. A U.S. Marine Rapid Response Force is currently deployed off the coast of Israel, and the Pentagon has sent over 2,000 troops to Israel as part of an escalation in the U.S.'s show of force in the region, aimed at preventing the conflict between Israel and Hamas from spreading further. There are reports that Russia's Wagner mercenary group plans to provide an air defense system to the Iran-backed Lebanese militia, Hezbollah. This system is known as the Pantsir S-1 or SA-22, which uses anti-aircraft missiles and air defense guns to intercept aircraft. The presence of advanced military systems like the Pantsir S-1 in the hands of non-state actors, such as Hezbollah, could be a matter of concern for regional stability and international security, as it could further complicate the geopolitical landscape in the already volatile Middle East. Please consider liking and sharing this video with your family and friends. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to stay updated with the latest news from Palestine. Until next time, take care.